Alright, so, sorry for the very late Doctor Who review, but hey, better late than never, right? So, let's talk about The Girl Who Died. Wow, that's a little ominous. But yeah, this episode was really good. Vikings, aliens, quote-unquote Odin. Yeah, really fun episode. Just a few tiny things that just didn't make sense to me, real quick. But all in all, this is really good. First off, this is a new episode written by Jamie Matherson, and it was co-wrote by Stephen Moffat, although I feel like Stephen Moffat only came towards the end, and this was mostly Matherson's episode, and I'll explain why in a bit. But no, this episode was a lot of fun. We get to see the Doctor and Clara at the beginning, kind of just, they're at a point where every life-threatening situation has come to them, and it's very much like, yeah, we now treat these situations like, little training missions. And it's cool. The Viking village is pretty well done. I like the atmosphere of it. Let's talk about the Maya real quick. The Maya, these warlike aliens who their leader basically makes men into juice, and that's very ominous and that's a very dark scene right there. That's very gross and very, very macabre in and of itself. He's basically, harvesting warriors to make a Powerade out of them. How wonderful. So, yeah, the basic of this episode is that all these warriors are dead, and I cannot pronounce her name, Maisie Williams' character has pretty much said that the Viking village will defeat 10 of their greatest warriors, and the leader of the Maya accepts. The Maya, getting back to them real quick, I like the armor designs. I really do like the armor designs. The head designs of, the whole reptilian feel, it looks very much like a puppet, and I'm a big fan of practical effects, but these guys look so, you would have thought that these things would have shown up in, as monsters Baker had fought. And that's not to say it's a bad thing, these things feel like actually, if anything, they feel more like a Davison-era monster. They feel very much like a Davison-era monster, or... yeah, these feel like something that can be a very classic-era Doctor Who because of the facial designs, the big hulking armor. But on the other hand, I was thinking, warlike race. Couldn't we have just gone... I feel like you could have just gone with the Centaurans, that, the Centaurans just showed up, and... I don't know, then we wouldn't have gotten the Odin thing now that I think about it, but, yeah. So yeah, the Maya, they're alright characters, I did enjoy the very quick reveal that, Odin, it's not really Odin, it's really an alien. They really just wanted to move the plot along, yeah, it's not really Odin, it's an alien. Moving on. Yeah. But yeah, Jamie Matherson. Can we just get Jamie Matherson to play, to basically be the new showrunner after, Moffat's end? And I know... yeah, apparently Moffat is staying on for Series 10. Oh, boy. But can we just, after Moffat is finally done, can we just get, can we please get Matherson or Whitehouse? Toby Whitehouse and Jamie Matherson are the two guys who are my top two picks for showrunner for Doctor Who after Moffat finally steps down, if ever. I know people keep saying Mark Gatiss, but, the dude's just too busy, So for me, it's Jamie Matherson and Toby Whitehouse. Because, man, Matherson, he did 2 episodes back-to-back, Flatline and Mummy on the Orient Express, which were 2 of some of my favorite episodes of Series 8, and then he comes in with this, doing a Viking story and introducing another new monster, which I felt, yeah, this was pretty good, that was a pretty cool idea, so... Matherson, I feel like he's I know he's done stuff on other BBC networks, but man, this guy really knows how to write Doctor Who. So yeah, the big thing of this episode is the Doctor is trying to train these farmers and, peasants of this Viking village to fight the Maya, even though he doesn't want to. He just wants to leave and be like, look, what if they win? On some miracle, the Maya win, and, excuse me, not the Maya, the Vikings win. Then the Maya will run back to their homes and tell not just tell their own race, but also tell everybody else in the galaxy, hey, these guys are pretty good fighters, let's go pick a fight with them. So you can see, and he also talks about, ripples and riptides, of time, and how he's, especially in this series, he's been really fleeting. He's been really flaunting it, especially if you saw the last 2 episodes of how he's trying to keep everything intact, and that might be another big thing of this season, throughout wise, especially with the whole hybrid story, which again it's brought up here. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Maisie Williams, she was really good in here. I really liked the, interaction between her and the Doctor when she's telling him her, what she's like, and she's like, look, to leave these people behind and run, leave this village behind would be, it would be death for me. And it really does feel like the Doctor and Susan. It really does feel like the Doctor and it does feel like a Doctor and Susan moment. I know people have said she might be Susan, and in a twist of fate, she may be. You never know with Moffat, although he is getting a little predictable. I mean, how many people did call that Missy during, the first episode of, Series 8? How many people said, that's a female master? And guess what? We were right. We were right. So maybe Moffat's losing his touch after so long. Anyway, what else with this episode? What else? I am very much looking forward to seeing where her story is going to go, because again, it looks like a big plot line, especially in the next episode. But yeah, another moment I loved was when the Doctor, obviously we know he can speak baby, and he's talking, he's basically, a baby's crying, and he's more or less interpreting to the rest of the village of this baby's fear, its crying, why it's so much in distress. And yeah, you can see the look on the villagers' faces of like, oh god, we have no idea what we're doing. Which is weird because in most Viking villages, way back in the the age of the Danes and Vikings and whatnot, most villagers, even from peasants, knew how to fight. They knew how to defend themselves, even when their warriors were out on raids. They knew how to defend themselves because usually earls were kind of at war with each other, so these peasants and other people knew how to fight for themselves, for the most part. So I found it weird that, the warriors are gone, we're all that's left, we're screwed. Anyway, that's just a minor thing. If anything else, I was like, okay, I can sort of buy where they're going with this. And then comes this is the big plot hole of the episode that really just kind of drove me nuts, because obviously I know this can't happen because of where they are. Not what time, where they are, geographically. So the Doctor is trying to figure out a way to defeat the Maya and still keep the village safe. And he discovers they have eels, and not just any eels, electric eels, to which I'm like, really? Not every eel is electric. Electric eels are only in the Amazon. Not Norway and Sweden. What the hell is... What? Huh? Okay, yeah, Matheson, I love you, but that was a big plot hole for me. It was like, not every eel is electric. Those are only in the again, it's a geographical thing. Not every eel is... Yeah, there's only one type of eel that's electric. The electric eel that's in the Amazon. Unless Vikings did raids and brought back electric eels in the Amazon, which, history says they didn't. So, yeah, but again, it's forgivable because I feel like they just felt like plot contrived. It just felt like a little, well, we need to make this look good, so, woo, here you go. And again, I do like that moment of the Doctor defeating the enemies, and he makes it look like, hey, we can upload this and make you all look like the alien version of Jackass. But I'm willing to let bygones be bygones if you run right now. And it's a very heartbreaking scene for the Doctor after he finds out that what's her name, Maisie Williams' character, God, I cannot pronounce her name. But basically, when that character dies, and he walks off and then just tells Clara, he just breaks down in front of Clara, telling her, look, this is what it's been like for me all along. And when you finally go, and trust me, you will, this is going to, happen to me, and I'm just going to keep running forever. And it's, all these people I've let die. And then we get the most awesome part of this episode. Well, one of the most awesome parts of this episode, where the Doctor looks back in the water, and he looks back at his face, and he just starts remembering, all the way back to, Fires of Pompeii, where Yeah, where Donna's telling him to save, what was the Roman, Peter Capaldi's character's name in Fires of Pompeii? Caligulus, I think? Caligulus, yeah, I think that's the name. But yeah, he more or less regenerated into this face to mentally remind himself that, everyone's worth saving. To constantly remind him, everyone's worth saving. And again, I was hoping that maybe we would get, what's the word I'm looking for? More about regeneration and how it works. But maybe it's just like, hey, he just wanted to mentally remind himself why you do this, why he saves people. So he saves, what's her name? He saves Ithelstan, I think her name is. Can't remember. But yeah, he saves her. And then here's where I have the problem. This is where I think Moffat comes in. Is where, the Doctor instantly hates himself. He hates that choice. Even though throughout that entire scene where he's trying to resurrect her through alien tech, he's like, I got emotional, I wasn't thinking straight, even though there was supposed to be a huge story arc there, and then it takes an instant step back because he made the young girl immortal. Even though he gave a great example, the great reason, why, he even gave another alien ship because he said immortality sucks. You need to you need to be with someone. And, it's not the fact that, you're immortal and you can't die. It's the fact that you watch everyone else die around you. And that's a cool idea, but then instantly I feel like Moffat goes, oh, the Doctor was just being he was just being too emotional and, oh, I've made a terrible mistake. I made a hybrid. Yeah, so it looks like, we're getting close to this Dalek Time Lord hybrid thing, story arc. All in all, other than the end, which I felt like, it instantly takes a back step to what the entire story arc was about, pretty good episode. This was a pretty good episode, and really looking forward to the second part, which, the second part, I feel like this was meant to be a one-and-done episode, but they wanted to, use this character more, so we'll see The Girl Who Lived and see what that's like coming soon. So you guys tell me, what did you all think of this episode? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys later.